Good morning, citizens, and welcome back to the verse. This is a short series that I'm doing. I am only going to be recording these videos in this series until the end of the month, so only about 2 weeks more, and then they'll be done. After that, I will not be recording anymore. The reason why, and if you've already seen this, do not think that you are watching the same video again. Is that I'm putting a little bit of a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, just kind of letting people know what these videos are out. These are a series that I'm recording during the Survive or Die, or Supply or Die, I almost said Survive or Die, playthrough of me just going and getting the resources non-compatitively. So if I'm going to be doing something like mining or salvage, I'm not going to be doing the debt chain. And as I do them, I just talk about different things that are happening in the verse, whether that is kind of the hot topics or the topics I don't really bring up or really have any place to put in any other videos. So going through these, if you have anything that you want to add to these videos, if you have anything that you want to say about what I talk about, any points that you want to make one or the other that I could read and maybe respond to, as well as maybe talk about in a future video, or if there's any topic that you would like me to talk about. These are the times for me just to kind of chit-chat about one subject each time that I'm going out and getting some supply. So each mining run, each salvage run, I'm trying to keep these videos about 20 minutes maximum. They might be a few minutes longer than that, but they're going to keep it around that length. So without further ado, let's get into this current episode of Supply or Die, mining and salvage runs. What are you doing in my room? How rude. We're back. We're back again. This is... Ooh. Almost an elevator that didn't work. This is around midnight on the 14th. I will be putting out part 1 today, which means that I haven't gotten any feedback from anyone yet on what ideas I should be doing for my kind of series of Let's Go Mine while I talk about things that I never talk about on this channel. So if you have anything you want me to talk about, or if you have anything you want my opinion about, or if you have an opinion that you want to share, you want to see if I'm on the same page, definitely let me know in any of the comments, any of the videos. I read all my comments, I always do. Just thought I would check something since it's been a couple days since I recorded that first part. I will have my refinery jobs ready. So I have the 3 completed work orders here, all copper. So if I'm doing copper, that means I'm also doing, what's it called? Rubies. What is rubies? Corundum? So I'm going to be doing corundum also. So I'm just going to be working on that. I'm going to find where to mine corundum now. I'm going to leave this all here because I don't think I have a ship here that can put it out. No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find a place in Pyro that has corundum. I'm going to go look at Regolith. If you haven't looked at Regolith before, let me do that real quick and show you that. So this will be kind of a different one. Instead of me talking about things in the game, I'm going to be talking about things that are outside of the game. And fan-made items, and one of them would be Regolith. So I'm going to drag this over to my main window. I'm going to share my main screen. There we go. So this is Regolith here. It's a pretty awesome site, and so yeah, I think there's a lot of great stuff in Star Citizen that fans have done. Let's say we have things like SC Trade Tools, Erkul, all those. But Regolith is one of the best ones for mining. And so if you're trying to find good mining locations, so we're going to be looking at corundum. So corundum's right here. We can see in Stanton, HORL2 is a good place to go. But we're going to go, ooh, the better one here, McL1. And Microtech. You got a 50% chance of finding Crundum in a rock at Microtech. We're going to go to Pyro, though, since we're already in Pyro. And we got 32, 36. That seems to be our highest, is 36%. So 36% was at... Let's go back up there. Pharaoh. So that is one of the moons or the planets on... Is it a moon or a planet? Like it's... I think it's around Pyro, isn't it? So we're going to go back to our game. And we're going to head to Pharaoh. Now Pharaoh, if we look here at our... Yeah, so it would be a moon, planet-sized moon, around Pyro 5. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go mine there. We're going to try to find some Corundum. Well... that seems to be broken. Alright, we're gonna probably have to claim that.
Welcome.
But maybe we can store it. No. But we do have the ability to go outside of here into the lobby. Now, I did deliver the Cutlass Black to this location. That way I will be able to put the mining jobs into there, because you still can't put a mining or a refinery job, I should say, right into the cargo, which would be handy, but unable to. We can try it again. For some reason, it said it was retrievable there, so let's give it another go. Do you think we're going to get our ship? Let's see. Now, I am being a little bit quieter here. I don't know if you noticed that I'm talking a bit quieter. I am trying not to wake anyone up. Ooh, beautiful. My plan, I don't know if I've really talked about this, is just to do the smaller jobs, the smaller refinery jobs. So, these ones here, 13 SCU each. I'm planning on doing those ones. They only pay 400,000. They don't pay as much as the bigger jobs. However, I don't need millions and millions of dollars, and those ones overall I think will be quicker for me to do solo. That might change. I might realize that I have enough to do some bigger jobs and make some bigger money. I always find you got to kind of wiggle around to find the prospector get in the seat prompt. Is that the same for the fortune? If anyone has a fortune, let me know.
Hello. How can Miss help you today? Systems on.
Now, I just realized I should double check that I've refueled. We're looking good. Okay. And that will use a little over half of my fuel to get there. So I think on the way back, we're just going to be going to Checkmate. So I'm going to fly there, and on the way back we'll go to Checkmate, and that's where we're going to be refining these jobs. And I'll double check. Actually, I can double check while we're flying there. So first things first, let's get out of the area. Alright, now I can do this. So, the contracts do move around a bit, but let's say if we're doing the small, those are going to Pyro Gateway. It's tin and ice that sometimes goes to Checkmate. Sometimes it's at Obituary, sometimes it's at Ruin, sometimes it's at Checkmate. I'm pretty sure all the copper and corundum our Pyro Gateway, because this is going to be the one that's also designed to be able to be done in Stanton. So if you want to mine in a different, safer place, although I haven't had too many issues yet with Pyro, you can mine corundum and copper in Stanton, which is a bit safer, and then you just got to take it through the gate and deliver it to the Pyro Gateway. I guess the Stanton Gateway. Is it going to Stanton Gateway or Pyro Gateway? I've already forgotten. Oh, it goes to Pyro Gateway. So this actually doesn't get delivered in the Pyro system. I'm gonna have to bring this all through the gateway to deliver it. So maybe it doesn't matter if I set up a checkmate to do some refining. So in order to get my corundum, that's I think what I'll do. I'll set up and checkmate. That way I just need to fill up whatever ship I'm using. Probably the Cutlass, but I might use the hull. It's just I don't know if the hull is defensible if someone attacks me while I'm trying to go through the gateway. But that's something that's going to be a bit of time to wait, so let me know on that also. Should I work on putting this on the hull or into the Cutlass? Now, while we are flying to Pyro, I think I'm going to do a little bit of an edit. That way you don't have to see me just sitting in the space here. And then I'm going to talk about some of the websites that other people have made that I use. Some of the fan sites and utilities made by other players. So I will see you in a moment. That looks cool. Being able to... Ooh, don't want to do that. Being able to see the moons around the gas giant as you fly towards it, that's pretty neat. Wow. I love it. Alright. It is on the other side. It's not this one, is it? No, that's Fuego. It did show this one popping up, so we're going to try to go here first. Pharaoh. Hopefully, this has the corundum that we are looking for. Alright, so let's start talking about fan sites and utilities. There are dozens upon dozens. I'm not going to get into the ones that are like orc ones or ones like trying to find other players, other organizations, trying to find referral codes. Those are the ones. The ones I'm going to talk about are ones that I use, or at least ones that I know of. Like an instance of one that I know of, but I don't really use at all. I could jump somewhere on this planet, can I? There's only 2 jump points. They're here. Derelict outpost, probably in the dark, but let's give it a go. The one that I know of that I don't really use is Erkul. Erkul is basically, I mean, I know it does probably a little bit more, but I think of it as like a DPS calculator. If you want to know which guns do the best damage, the most damage with the first hit, the most damage per second, Erkul's the site for you. I don't use it at all because I don't do really combat and I don't really care about that. But I'm sure, oh, of course, it's dark on this side. But those are my only choices. Yeah, you know what? We'll try mining in the dark a little bit. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna fly away from the derelict outpost. But yeah, I mean, if you want to find out what compare different drives, different. Oh, this is all water here. Let's fly. You know what? We're not. We're gonna go to the light side. So we're gonna fly back up to an orbital marker. Erkul's useful. I'm not going to be sharing my screen now showing everyone the sites. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head trying to remember them. And I will put copies of these sites for everyone to see. I'll put like an image of them on the screen while I talk about them here. I'll edit that in. Ooh. I don't know who you were, but I'm going to quickly
Complete.
kind of fly in a couple directions so that you hopefully wouldn't be able to figure out where I went. Because that was definitely a Hornet. Hornet versus Prospector. Pretty obvious. Hornet's going to win. Yeah, so Erkul, that's a cool one. A lot of people use it. I don't tend to, but I do believe it's kind of cool. There's been a few that can like work as far as if you see people post on Spectrum, post images of their fleet. There's something I think it was called Fleet Viewer. Hangar Link is kind of a cool thing, which is I think tied to Fleet Viewer. And Starship 42 was another one, if I recall correctly. Hangar Link was a bit different though. Hangar Link was actually something that you kind of link this plugin on your browser to your account, and it gives you, if I recall, more information. So maybe a little bit more values of your items, or allows you to search for them, or kind of organize if your hangar has a lot of things in it, especially if you have all your Luminale stuff in there. On the one hand, pretty cool. On the other hand, I mean, it is a plugin, and so trust it as much as you want, but I don't like to tend to put a plugin that then asks me to log in to my account, so I haven't actually really tried it. There's a market. Now, I'm not going to talk about gray markets, things like where you go and you buy ships outside of Star Citizen. There's a lot of that there. That's not something I'm going to talk about on here, but there is something called, I think it's either called Star Citizen Marketplace or SC Market or SC Marketplace. I will put that up here as well. It's cool because it's for players looking to sell things like, I've got a bunch of railguns or attritions and I want to sell them. And it only deals with selling things in-game for UEC. So it's at least not the same as selling items that are bound to your account. It's just helping facilitate people selling things that they want to sell. I think that's cool. That's kind of a cool thing. If you don't want to sell things or buy things from other players, there is Cornerstone or Seastone, it was called, which is the item finder that tells you where you can find things being sold in the verse, where they're located, as long as things haven't changed. Like, I mean, when the Pembroke suits disappeared from the game, that might have been wrong for a while, but hopefully they kind of keep that up. There are different racing sites, I know for sure. I just don't tend to use them at all. There are a couple utilities. Now, there was one I had on my channel before. I shared it that someone had made, which was one to use. So let's say I wanted to jump to if there's like the Erron Halo. Now, I don't know if there is a Halo in this one, but the Erron Halo in Stanton is right around here. How do I get there? Well, enter in your location, or like by using show location, or enter in the distance to a few different places to kind of triangulate, and then it would tell you aim at end game and jump out when you are a certain distance away, and you'd be in the belt. That's how it would work. It was really cool. I'll try to put a link to that up here, but I cannot, and I really unfortunately cannot remember the name of it now, but that was a really cool utility. I really thought it was really awesome. There's something kind of similar to that called what is it called now? Like there's Snare Plan if you want to be a pirate. That kind of works in the same way, where it helps you set up where you can stop if you want to snare people in different locations. But what was the other tool that was kind of like the jump tool? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. There is another really cool one I saw recently. I haven't really tried out, but let's say I am scanning rocks. So when you scan a rock, there is a number that shows up right about here on your scan. As soon as I get a ping to show up, I'm a little bit high now, so maybe there's nothing showing up quite yet. Oh, there's something. So there. So this number here, 14320. There's a utility someone made recently that's kind of just looking at your screen, looking at this area where you set up like a box, and it's got a optical character recognition, and then it tells you what that is based on that number. That's a really cool thing. I don't know what that's called either because I haven't actually tried it out yet. But I'm going to try it out, see what that's like. SE Trade Tools, I don't know if I've talked about that yet, but SE Trade Tools is pretty awesome. It is a great way to set up trade routes, to find out where the best prices to sell or buy things are. I think that's pretty good. It can actually say, well, if you want to get one place to another and you're willing to take a stop and go to this other place in the meantime, look at all these asteroids. SE Trade Tools will tell you which routes you can take to make some money that way. Then there are 2 mining sites I'm going to talk about, and those will be the last ones. Obsidian deposits. One is Red Monstaer Gaming. Red Monstaer Gaming site basically is the go-to for getting like cheat sheets of where the utilities are. So it's very much like what the Regolith one I just showed you. Red Monstaer is great for those utilities. Look at that. Corundum, raw, impossible, but there's 43% on that. So let's keep going. Find a smaller one. Regolith is the other one. And there is another site that is tied to Red Monstaer that is for setting up crude work for mining. So you can like work with people and you can like say like, all right, in my crew, we're going to work together. We have spotters, we have miners, we have people operating the turrets, pilots, and it's a way to kind of plan things out and work things out more like a business, so that if you're working with other people, you can also pay out the people you're working with. Again, off the top of my head, I can't recall that name, but that I'm going to put up here. And I'm going to put links in the description below. And so that's all I can really think of the stuff that I tend to use or that I know of. So what is something that you think I should really use? Now, I guess you could also include Reddit, but if I'm being honest, I mean, you know, you can get points on Reddit for contributing and being, you know, a member of the Reddit community. I think my points total is about 40, if that. I don't tend to use Reddit, so, but I know it's out there, and although I don't use Reddit, a lot of times when I'm trying to find something like, how does this work, or how do I do this or do that, or where's my shader folder, a lot of the responses come back from Reddit. So, do you think this is going to go mostly into Corundum, into one rock? I'd say yes. That's awesome. Alright, good to know. This means there's a good chance that I'm going to be able to get a full load of Corundum by looking for 100% rocks. This one here is already 13 SU in this form. 13 point, is that an 8.6 or 0.6? I think CIG needs to kind of improve some of the stuff of their HUD. They got rid of some of the stuff that makes mining harder, and they've kept some of the stuff that makes mining kind of difficult. Really, I think the big thing that I wish they did, and I've said this I don't know how many times, is when I put out a ping, it should show me all the pings around me. Left, right, behind, front, like it used to. I know they got rid of it because they wanted it less cluttered, but for the most part that's just made it harder for any industry, especially mining. Alright, we are already up to 6 SU of Corundum. This is great. Almost 13 SU, and that was our first little rock. That one's 77%. Let's look at this one. Borace, pretty much pure Borace. Should I try to buy a mole and take the bags off the mole and put them on my prospector? Maybe. Ooh, I want it on this first. Here's another 100%er, so might as well get this one first. And this one is 25 SU, so this is definitely going to be all we need. We're going to leave all these other rocks here. This is why I would love an Arasta. I don't own an Arasta. They're not in the game yet, but Could you imagine just going across the planet, munching up all these rocks, and refining and moving on? I don't care that they're not worth much. To me, it would be so fun, and, you know, every little bit adds up. Head out in the air in Halo and just have a relaxing day of mining. It'd be cool. The Erasta is going to be a pretty awesome ship. There we go. So we're going to get a full load of corundum. This is going to be awesome. So this has been a good relaxing video. Like I said, I've just... Today, they are just finished editing video number 1. So video number 1 is going to be out. So if you've responded, I haven't read it yet, haven't seen it yet. But I look forward to at least hearing from people. And hope they're just kind of enjoying this kind of chill chat and mine. I'm enjoying it. I love this game. And I love the aspect of just kind of working in this game as a miner. I mean, look at this game. Look at this. That is a beautiful view and a beautiful ship. I love it. It's going to be interesting to see what the new paint's going to look like. So I'm going to head up, and like I said, I'm going to go to Checkmate. Checkmate's going to be where I kind of set up shop, and the reason why is just because it'll be relatively close to here. I don't think there's a really closer, that's the wrong key, closer place than Checkmate, is there? Because we've got Ruin, Endgame, Patch City. I guess, I don't know, Checkmate's close enough. Oh, wait a minute, let's double check, because that seems like, why can I still have range to get there? Why is my quantum field not gone down? You know what? That's a bug. But no complaints. I will head back to Stanton Gateway, at least for this time. Maybe next time I'll have to go to Checkmate, but this seems like my ship decided not to use quantum fuel, and so I'm going to take full advantage of that and head back to Stanton Gateway. So I'll see you there as we drop this load off, and maybe I will take my first refinery jobs out of the refinery. Oh, hello. We're gonna go to the refinery. We made it back safely to the Stanton Gateway. So weird. Used like 2,000 UEC worth of quantum fuel. But this is pretty good. I've been trying to keep these to, you know, around 20 minutes long each. And, yeah, pretty much bang on for that. So it'll be a little bit longer, but let's put in this refinery job here. And then we're gonna also store our other one. So corundum, 32 SCU. If I use my good old friend Dinnick Solvent, gonna get 25 SCU out of there. Now I believe, how much was it to do those jobs, the corundum jobs? They were like, I needed 16 each? Is that what it was? Let's first go to our Cutlass Black. Oh, there we go. So, there we go. Cutlass Black. Collect that. Get all that copper in there. Wait till this delivered goes away. Can I fit another one in there? No, not big enough for 2. That's alright. So let's see, what do we need to actually do for delivery of the small priority job? That's tin and ice. 13. Alright, so yeah, for each job doing 13, I think I'm going to need about 15 jobs total. It's going to take a while, but I might do some of the ice ones. I might even go try to buy some of the stuff, but I know it is very expensive now. My first, I don't know if it was my first video, it might have been the first one. I talked about how I didn't like the fact that people would just go and buy the goods, and I said that it kind of makes sense that during an event where things are in need, those items would go away, partly from people just camping the kiosks, but also just by making the... Actually, I can just probably just go to my hangar. But also the prices should skyrocket, and they did. The prices skyrocketed. I think that's awesome. I think that's exactly what should happen in an event like this. I think the next time they should skyrocket almost immediately, so that some people, maybe 1 or 2 people, could buy it, but once that original goods is gone, I think the money should really go up. And that's going to be how economy in this game is going to work. But I do have the vulture, so I could always do a little bit of scraping. That might be kind of a cool way to do some of these jobs as well. Oh, you know what? That's why I wasn't going to come down here, because I need my medium hangar in order to... take the goods out, because I'm going to store them here for now. I'm going to store the goods, and then when it's time to complete the job, that's when I will be loading up and flying them through the gateway. So we need our
to the ASOP vehicle
Cutlass Black.
Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following. Please visit.
All right. Back to our hangar, but this time the medium hangar. And, ooh. I don't think I have a multi-tool with me either. Oh, I do. Does it have a tractor beam on it? Is it even possible? There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's get our... Oh, I grabbed the Cutlass Black already because I called it. All right, let's unload the Cutlass Black. Let's put everything in safely our cargo deck. And then that'll be it for this video. We will have the beginnings. Now, I should get one of the bigger multi-tools, because with the Cutlass, I might get something too big to lift. If that's the case... Now, another big change that I'm really happy with is before, let's say I had a job that said deliver 4 SU, and I dropped that big container in there, it would keep the rest. Like, this is 28 SU. Where's the 16? What's this say? It says 20 tons, but I think this is... maybe it's 20? But it would keep it all. But now, if I'm delivering, 5, and I put that in, it takes the 5 and it leaves behind everything else. It puts it into smaller containers, and I think that is an awesome change. That way, all I really need to do is start delivering all of this to the Pyro Gateway, and then just accepting the jobs, bring them up, drop them back down, job complete. I think that's awesome. So, let's confirm. 8 SU, 1 SU, 16 SU. So that one's 16. all safely stored, ready for delivery. Amazing. And on that note, I'm going to call it here. Goodbye, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me on this. I hope you like this series, and I hope to see you all soon in the verse.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.